Nobody wants to say this, but you need to become obsessed with your diet and your weight loss. You're so fat that you're causing this machine not to work right. And it was a machine to help you lose fat. What's up, guys? All right, today I'm going to be talking about the harsh realities of getting started on a weight loss journey. If you're stumbling across my channel for the first time, my name's Dave, and I was able to lose 202 pounds in less than 23 months. 165 of those pounds was lost in 1 year after starting a low-carb diet. And on this channel, I'm just simply sharing my personal experience and my opinions. I am not a coach. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of those things. So this is strictly just my own experience and opinions. All right, this video is going to be for those of you out there who are just starting your journey, or if you have been trying to start a weight loss journey and you just keep falling off the wagon. We need to talk about the harsh reality of what it's like. This is a mental battle. It's more than a physical battle. This is mostly a mental battle. I know what it's like to be severely obese. I know how hard it is when you walk into a gym and you are the fattest guy in the gym. At my gym, I was the fattest guy at the gym. And I know that uncomfortable feeling when you feel like everyone in the gym is looking at you and passing judgment. This can make you not want to go back to the gym. I know, I've been there. But you've got to get those thoughts out of your head, because the gym is going to be one of the things that you need to become best friends with. There's a lot of people in the gym that want to see you do well. I would actually say most people want to see people do well. The thing is they're used to seeing really big fat people coming into the gym, working out for a few days at the beginning of January and then quitting. When I first started out at the gym and I was going every day, there was actually people at the gym that noticed that I was going every day. And I actually had one guy come up to me every day in the gym and he would just give me a fist bump and tell me to keep pushing. So there's a lot of people out there rooting for overweight people, guys. You got to get this idea that everybody's going to be judging you out of your head. And even if there are people there judging you, guess what? Who cares? Because you're there on a mission for yourself. This is about you. I even had a time at the gym, guys, where I was lifting weights and I was watching this guy and had never seen an exercise done the way he was doing it. And it interested me. So I asked him about it and he showed me how to do the exercise and he was totally cool about it. So there's plenty of cool people in the gym. So do not fear the gym, guys. The main thing you've got to fear is not getting in a routine. You need to make it a habit, a daily habit. So that's going to be your biggest obstacle when it comes to the gym. It's going to be you battling yourself. For example, in 2020, I started going to the gym and I had been going for like a week. And guess what happened? COVID. And they shut the gym down. And I couldn't believe it. I drove up to the gym and the doors were locked and it was closed. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I just literally have been committing for a week straight and now I can't go. And it was totally frustrating. So it was like the world threw me a big middle finger and I wasn't able to work out anymore. So at that time, I had been actually using the elliptical machine and the treadmill in the gym. And with the gyms being shut down at this point, I panicked and I ordered an elliptical machine and a treadmill from Nordic Track. So eventually the Nordic Tracks arrived. I got them set up. And the frustrating part was the elliptical machine didn't quite make the same movement that the one in the gym did. So it was more uncomfortable for me than the elliptical in the gym. So I was somewhat frustrated about that. So I started trying to use the treadmill every day and I'd be walking on the treadmill and it was as if the motor stopped when I was walking on it. And so I became very frustrated. I actually had a repair guy from Nordic Track come out, take a look at everything. They replaced the belts, they replaced the motor, they did all kinds of stuff, but it was still happening. What me and the repair guy actually figured out was I was too heavy at 387 pounds for the treadmill. I was literally causing the belt to stop every single time I took a step. And this was a slap in the face, guys, because here I am shelling out money that I didn't have, trying to get exercise equipment because I was so frustrated that the gym had shut down. Not to mention the mental beating of just realizing that you're so fat that you're causing this machine not to work right. And it was a machine to help you lose fat. So it was completely demoralizing. So ultimately, I ended up sending back the treadmill, and thankfully Nordic Track gladly took the treadmill back and refunded my account so that I did not owe any money on that treadmill. So then I decided, well, I'm going to order a studio bike then, because I should be able to ride an exercise bike, right? Well, we got the studio bike. Same thing, guys. I started pedaling on that stupid bike and my knees were hitting my belly. My belly's like bouncing all around. It was horrible. Long story short, then that's how we roll into 2021. And if you want to hear about that story, go watch my last video. I kind of talk about what happened in 2021 that kind of kicked off my weight loss. But my point is, guys, there's going to be tons of reasons and obstacles that are going to get in your way, and you've got to overcome them. You've got to figure out ways to overcome. You can't let those things be an excuse to you as not getting started or doing something. Like I said in some past videos, I know some people who lost weight just by marching in place in their room. So there's plenty of things you can do. The other thing is you're going to be trying to start a diet. And in all honesty, guys, only you are going to know if you cheat on your diet. Only you are going to know if you're overeating. Only you are going to know if you're sneaking things. So this is about you being honest with yourself. And I see a lot of people out there who are struggling, and I wonder if they're being honest with themselves. Because if they're being honest, you've got to look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm screwing up here because I'm not being disciplined and I'm not sticking to it. And I know it's hard to get started. I know, because most of us are eating food that we don't like. And that is one of the things that I preach about, is you've got to find a diet where you like the food. That's why a low-carb diet works so well for me, because there's nothing that I eat that I don't like. I might not be able to eat some things that I do like, but everything that I'm eating I love. So that's why I think it's important to find a diet where you're actually eating the food that you actually like to eat. Because eating food that you don't like to eat is just going to make it even harder. And the one nice thing that I will continue to say about the low-carb diet is that you can eat fast food. I ate fast food. I was able to drink alcohol. And I'm not saying that we should be eating fast food or we should be drinking alcohol, but my point is I was still able to, in a moment of weakness, I was able to run through a drive-through, but I figured out how to order it in a way that was low carb, and I was able to eat it, and it did not cause me to go off diet, number one. And for the majority of the time, I actually lost weight when I did those things because it was all part of my diet anyway. I am cooking more than I've ever cooked in my entire life. So I understand that as being an inconvenience as well. But again, the nice thing about the low carb diet, one night I don't feel like cooking, I'm like, I'm going to run it to In-N-Out and get a couple of bunless cheeseburgers. And that's okay. It's all part of the diet. It fits my diet. Here's another thing. When I first started my weight loss, we had a big trip planned to Florida, and it was in our RV, and we were driving across the country. And guess what? I was able, on a low carb diet, we could stop at fast food restaurants on the way down, and I was able to find ways to order that were low carb, and it met my diet requirements. And here's what's crazy. That vacation that we went on, I think it was like 10 days, I ended up losing like a pound or two that week while mainly eating out the entire time. But it was because I figured out how to order in a way that would meet a low-carb diet. If you're on a low-carb diet, a keto diet, or a carnivore diet, you can absolutely figure out ways to do that. And I found that very convenient. There's a lot to think about, guys, but the main thing you need to do is you need to start, and you need to not fear anything except for yourself, because it's going to be you that talks yourself out of doing a workout. It's going to be you that talks yourself out of sticking to your diet. So your biggest enemy is you. It's your mind. You've got to get your mind right. You've got to change the way you're thinking. You've got to build some discipline so that you can stay on track. And I'm not talking trash, because it took me a long time to get to where my mind was right. That's why I say you got to get your mind right. You got to realize it's you sabotaging yourself. It's not something else that's causing you not to lose weight. You know what I mean? I'm following some people who are in the same place they were 2-3 years ago. They've never advanced because they can't get their mind wrapped around getting disciplined enough to stick with what they're trying to do. Nobody wants to say this, but you need to become obsessed with your diet and your weight loss. Like, if you're as obese as I was, you're going to have to become obsessed. It's going to have to be your obsession, because it's going to be hard, and you're going to have to really battle your own mind. Again, I will say, like I've said in the past, if I were a person just starting out or still having difficulty, I would literally go out on Instagram, YouTube, all these places, find other influencers who are talking about their weight loss, who are successful with their weight loss, who are motivating, who are talking about the diet that you're interested in. And I would just follow all those people and just consume it every day. Just suck it all in. I would follow all these people that are doing it. I would, and just listen to it every day. because you're going to get sucked in. And it's going to help motivate you to stay on track and to continue to push yourself. And if you're following multiple people, especially when it comes to your diet, you're going to find recipes that you might like. I talk about how when I started low carb, I tried to be pretty simple about it and not really get involved with the keto processed food. But there might be somebody else out there who's having all kinds of success and they're utilizing all the keto processed food. So that's why I say it's important to listen to everybody and then kind of pick and choose, especially if you're doing it DIY. If you got the money to go get a coach or got the money to go get a trainer, then by all means go for it. But if you're like me and you didn't have the money to go pay somebody to help you, that's how I was able to kind of pick and choose what I kind of wanted to do. And then I would experiment for a week. I would try things for a week. And if I saw results, then I would keep doing that. If I noticed something caused me not to lose some weight on the scale or I wasn't feeling right, then I would just alter it. It wasn't that I was like blaming somebody because their way didn't work. It was because I was experimenting, trying to figure out what would work for me. And that's what you're going to have to do. And again, you're becoming obsessed. You're making it your thing. You're making it your life. And that's what you got to do, guys. I see so many people who are struggling, and and I honestly think it's because they don't realize that you've got to make it your obsession. You've got to just surround yourself by it. You've got to commit. You've got to become disciplined, and it's much easier to do when you're listening to a bunch of different people who are pushing you, who are showing you what they're doing, who are showing you how to be successful. And it's free. It's out there on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel. It's free. I'm not charging. I'm not selling anything. I'm literally just sharing my story, my experience, and my opinions. Anyway, guys, got a bunch more video ideas that I'm going to be putting up. So be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. Don't forget to hit that like button, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.